So for the potty training trial period, we're done with the baby. All we'll need is our potty, our treats, our snacks, and our drinks. The purpose of the prompted potty trials is to further reiterate where we go to the potty. They need to sit on the potty for 10 minutes at a time, every 15 minutes. And then when they're sitting on the potty for 10 minutes, there is really no extra dialogue that's happening. So if they're trying to talk, you're just being really brief, like, okay, without engaging too heavily in additional conversation. I know 10 minutes sounds like a long time. You're not supposed to be doing a lot of extra talking and playing and games and things like that while they're sitting, but it is to ensure that when they do go to the potty, it happens on the potty, so that they feel the rejoicing and the excitement and the enthusiasm that happens when they pee on the potty. They should have drank a lot by now to where at this point they should actually have to go to the bathroom if they haven't already. After 2 or 3 different trials, they'll start to realize that this is where I need to go when I have that urge to pee. Once they are going to the potty once or twice, you're going to take it down from 10 minutes to 5 minutes. You don't want to decrease the time while the child is not having success. So if they're still kind of wetting themselves in between, we're not going to decrease the time until you're starting to see progress that they're actually doing what you're instructing them to do. So they start to go sooner because they're starting to get into the routine that when I sit here, this is where I go pee, then I get back up. Whenever they go, even if it's within 30 seconds, they are free to get up. Throughout this trial, if they are signaling or walking to the potty on their own without being prompted, they can get up as soon as they want to because it was their call to get on it. So they can get up when they feel the need to get up as well. Now, again, there should not be a lot of distractions, books and toys going on, because with distractions, they're not thinking about going to the potty. And I mean, you're not going to just ignore your child, but we're not doing a lot of extra talking. Any talking that we're doing is pertaining to potty training, wet, dry, the baby, pee, all of those types of phrases. Any extra distractions are just going to prolong the process. It's going to stop them from going to the potty. It's going to stop them from focusing on what they are supposed to be doing. So it might sound harsh, but it's really not a kiki haha fun day as far as, you know, your normal routine. Now, it's not strict boot camp to where you can't, you know, engage your child at all, but it is about the business this day. So that's how those potty trials go. You do them every 15 minutes for as long as you need to where you feel comfortable that your child's understanding that he needs to go. Now, if he doesn't start initiating that day, that's okay. Neither of mine were really initiating that much by the end of the session, but I knew they understood enough to go about our successful way potty training. No more pull-ups. You get it, and that's how we did that. Okay, this is a really important part. This is the follow-through. The follow-through determines whether or not all the work you put in, potty training, teaching, celebrating, paid off or not. So the follow-through is really the most important part. For me, the determining factor of potty training is comprehension. Do they understand what is going on? Do they understand what I'm asking of them? Do they understand what they're supposed to do? Do they understand where they're supposed to go? Do they understand that their pants are not supposed to be wet? They're supposed to be dry? Do they understand that when they need to go to the potty, that they get on the potty and that they don't wet their pants? I think people expect potty training them to be perfect that day, and that's really not the case. That's why follow through is the most important thing. Do they understand it? If I don't follow through, they do understand it still, but they're gonna go back to what they've been doing for X amount of months or years before they've been potty trained. So as a parent, it is my responsibility to follow through to make sure that they're applying acts to their understanding. Follow through is not so much concerned about whether or not they're initiating every single time they need to go to the bathroom. To me, following through is about the work that you both are working together to make sure their pants are dry. My follow through included reminders or being sent to the potty. Kids need reminders to go to the potty, and there's nothing wrong with that to me. My follow through also included no more pull-ups. That's it. I know it's convenient as a parent to throw a child in pull-ups and still work on potty training while they're in pull-ups, but follow through includes pants check. Are your pants dry? Wow, good job. You have kept your pants dry for such a long time. You've kept your pants dry all day today. Those types of things. That's part of following through. Continuing to remind them, teach them that awareness of having dry pants. It included, for me, and it still includes, a portable potty. and a portable potty seat. I did not let my inconvenience hinder their potty training. So I remember Vance was potty training around Christmas time, and I had a lot of Christmas shopping to do. We were like mall hopping, store hopping, getting Christmas shopping done. And we went before we got out the car on the potty, and after we got out of the store on the potty, and I took a potty seat inside in case he had an emergency while we were shopping. Like, how inconvenient is that when you're trying to Christmas shop and you're having to stop ever so often to have a child go to the bathroom? I can just be convenient and say, just put a pull-up on, it's just easier for today, or I can follow through and make sure that you are effectively and successfully potty trained. It's easier to just throw a pull-up on and wait until later and then we'll practice again, or I can follow through and potty training can be successful. That's part of the follow through. Part of my follow through is keeping the potty in common areas. So it was not always in the bathroom. Wherever we were, that's where the potty was. So we have one upstairs and we have one downstairs, and it will be in the family room. So if we're watching TV or playing, they have it easily accessible because they're still young, they're still learning. Even though they're potty trained, they are still in the like follow through period. So they need it easily accessible. And it's a reminder, it's a constant reminder, like, oh yeah, I do need to make sure I get on this thing if I have to go to the potty. Implement some consequences, not right away, but when you notice, it's like, okay, girl, you just not even trying today. Like, she had like a relapse day several weeks after, and I was like, girl, it was like 4 times she peed on herself. So you just need a little bit of a reminder. As a parent, you know what a true accident is and what is like, you need a consequence for that. So you enforce some consequences as needed. Of course, we're not scaring, we're not creating anxiety and fear. I'm not going to get into what ours are because every family is different. What works for us doesn't work for you. Accidents happen. There are kids who are well potty trained for years and every once in a while have accidents. Vance, who's 3, does not ever have any accidents. Carson has them rarely. And sometimes it's a true accident, like I couldn't make it in time, I tried. Sometimes it's just not trying, but we are reminding firmly, you know what to do. A consequence doesn't have to be something harsh and brutal. It can be simple, just expressing displeasure. It can be sit down for 1 minute since she's 1 year old, stand on the wall for 1 minute, you know, no treat, or whatever the case may be. Whatever you decide works for you and your family, you should do. But I want to remind you that fear and creating fear and anxiety around it is not going to help anybody, and it's just going to create further frustration for you and for the child. And then also part of the follow through is weaning off the treats. So as they need them, I think I weaned both of them off treats within like the first week or 2. Like at that point, you know what you need to do. You don't continuously need treats. I'm pretty sure it was like within the first week that I started weaning them off of the treats. And then when she was having that day where it was a lot, I was like, okay, let me include treats back in. So I remember both of them at one point, it was like a week that I had to bring the treats back because they just needed a little bit of extra positive reinforcement. And I will say that positive reinforcement takes precedence over consequences. So that's going to help more. But at a certain point, sometimes positive reinforcement, you're doing every this, you're doing that, and they seem to not even be trying or caring anymore. They might need a little consequence. Nothing crazy. And you don't even need to do it for that an extended period of time. Usually it's just like a swift, like, oh yeah, let me get myself together, you're right, I know what I should be doing, that type of thing. It just kind of kicks them back into gear. And then the last thing, everything, the strategy, the method is based off of a book. Like I said, it's called Potty Training in Less Than a Day, and it's called that because I know Vance was, by nap time, he was done. He was potty trained by nap time. So he got up like around 8 that morning, and then by his nap time around noon 30, he was potty trained. So it really doesn't take a full 24-hour day. It just takes a few hours of being consistent, sticking to the plan, all of those types of things. But I do encourage you to get the book. You can do it based off of this video, or you can also get the book and get the inside scoop on some other tips and things that they have on failed previous attempts, on kids who are defiant, kids who are not participating. Probably any questions or advice you have regarding your child specifically, the book has some tips on that. The book is just a great resource. Of course, you can feel free to reach out to me, and I'll answer any questions to the best of my ability that I can. I think the biggest hindrance to our child's potty training sometimes is us. not understanding their capabilities, not wanting to be inconvenienced, wanting it to be quick and easy, and it's just work behind it. Now, it's not terribly hard. I don't consider the process of potty training a 1-year-old hard. It's just something that took commitment, dedication, and follow through, consistency. That's the main thing. So that's all for this video today. I hope you found it helpful and that you have great success with potty training your little one, however old he or she is. And I'll see you on my next video.
Bye. I'm glad you like my haircut. Bye.